Oh my God, there's another plot to kidnap or hurt the governor of Michigan? Say it ain't so. Maybe this one actually has some validity behind it this time. Michigan man arrested after alleged threats against the governor and Biden. Oh, he said some things and then he got snatched up. Interesting. Very interesting. What do we got for details? So, U.S. President Joe Biden eats a cherry as he's touring the King orchards. Well, yeah, just so he doesn't bite down on his tongue when he has one of his mini strokes. A Michigan man was arrested and charged with illegal ownership of firearms. Well, just having one in modern day Michigan, of course, because old Gretchen Whitmer's in charge. I can't believe people in Michigan continue to support that hack. Anyways, and he made death threats against Michigan Governor, yes, Whitmer, and a president, as the U.S. Justice Department said on Friday. Did they not have anything better to do? Can you go investigate the president's son? No? Oh, okay, cool. There's threats in Michigan. Federal agents, after receiving an online tip this week from YouTube owner Google. Sorry, what? Google had to sleuth out a very dangerous death threat. Are you having a laugh? Uncovered threats posted on YouTube. I haven't had any videos taken down recently, which also include threats to members of the gay community. Okay, a bunch of groomers and FBI agents. Well, all right. I don't live in Michigan. Fuck off. According to criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court to the Eastern District of Michigan. Who filed this complaint? Some overzealous Whitmer staffer? Come on now. The investigation led by Randall Robert Burka II, who lives in Sheboygan, Michigan. Great. And was illegally in possession of firearms after having been committed to a mental institution and while a daily user of marijuana, the Justice Department said. Literally, this sounds like the exact same setup of all of those guys that, they were working together in order to kidnap and kill the governor. There's a based-ass documentary that's out there. I would encourage everybody to seek it out. And if anybody's interested, I'll find a way to get a link to it. And if not, just search up Radix Verum on YouTube and Not Radix on Twitter. Her documentary, and yeah, she went in excruciating detail, talking with a couple of the guys that ended up getting acquitted in the first trial, and then talked about how the other two guys that ended up getting a retrial because two of them were mistrialed and then had to go through a kangaroo court the second time around, and then ended up getting found guilty after they were obviously entrapped by the feds. But you know what, hey, treading dangerously close to getting a Department of Justice complaint on my name. Anyways, Burka, 30, legally possessed 4 firearms, three long old guns, and a pistol, the Justice Department said. All right, so a man in Sheboygan owns some guns. Great, wonderful, fantastic. And Burka faces 15 years in prison. Justice Department said that among statements Burka posted were, "I'm going to kill these Democrats. Biden deserves to die. And I'm going to kill LG." Oh, man, he didn't even go that far. He chose freaks as his F word. I got another one with a couple of repeating letters if you just wanted to get spicy about it. But how is that a pointed threat, unless there's other ones that are on there? In his initial court appearance on Friday, the federal judge ordered Burka to be detained pending another hearing on March 15th. Whitmer had already been previously threatened with the plot to kidnap her in 2020. Yeah, what was it, like a dozen feds and 6 stoners? Interesting. And then you don't say an exact same situation like this popped up again? Wow, I'm super shocked. And why would anybody have anything against Gretchen Whitmer, especially even though she's taking the old Fauci route when it comes to this stuff? And this makes me physically fucking ill at the end of the day, because her state locked down probably the hardest in all of the union, and she was very, very, very instrumental in imposing all of those plans to sell, or not to sell, sorry. That's probably in the back of her mind in order to turn a buck to make sure that Michigan isn't operating in a deficit, but she doesn't care federal bailouts. But no, she put a whole bunch of infected people in nursing homes back in 2020. Yep, her, Cuomo, Newsom, who went, and a bunch of different blue governors as well. None of them went down for any of that. Hell, most of them are still in office, except for Cuomo. And what did he go down for? Oh, making an inappropriate sausage joke to a girl. Fucking disgusting. But yo, man, she bent and broke all of the fucking rules, opening up a specific harbor so her husband could take their yacht out for a spin while everybody else was locked in their house. And one thing that she said, you don't even need to bother going outside. There's still snow on the ground. She was a tyrant. And boy, do we ever see a pattern right there. No, all over Twitter, it's still a trend that's out there thanks to stupid Clot Adams. Oh, everybody notice the pattern? You guys just need to stay away from a certain group of people. But do you ever notice Jacinda Ardern, Sanna Marin, Gretchen Whitmer? The worst behavior, the most tyrannical rules come exclusively from whom exactly? Very fucking interesting. And how do they justify it? Oh, we didn't know anything at the time, but hey, at the same... Oh my god, unfair prosecutions against me. Everybody hates me for justifiable fucking reasons. Oh, there's a 4-letter word that starts with a C and ends with an NT that's just in big neon letters in my head right now. Oh, boy howdy. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer admitted over the weekend that Democratic leadership in the state, her state, she was in control of. She also tried to invoke some rarely used act from like the 1800s in order to maintain and supersede the legislature, in order to just grasp onto emergency power. I remember doing a video on that. I can't remember what it was, but she filed petition after petition to court after court after court because she wanted to be the tyrant. She wanted to be Chairman Whitmer of the People's Republic of Michigan, and she just about got away with it. And well, is she going to face any consequences on that? Fuck off, no. Is Detroit going to turn around? Is Flint going to get clean water? Fucks no. In April of 2020, Whitmer issued an executive order that barred most stores from selling gardening supplies, including seeds and plants. Fucking why? That was the only state to do it in April, for Christ's sakes, like 2 weeks after everybody else locked down. But no, after everybody started to realize that, ooh, there's some there's some things to be learning about this, because you said that, yeah, it could be transmitted this way, and then it turns out it was this way, and why are we still doing all of this stuff? Very interesting. In a sit down with Chris Wallace on March 12th, L. Whitler, how about that? Was asked about Michigan's tough lockdown policies. Tough, tyrannical, evil, unconstitutional. I've got a bunch of different descriptors, but Chris Wallace, being the bitch that he is, decided to go with tough. There were moments where, we had to make some decisions. What's this we shit? Whenever you're facing criticism, it's we. Whenever you're taking praise, or whenever you're trying to pull the victim card, me. Fucking gross. Some of the decisions in retrospect didn't make a lot of sense, right? Oh, and are you going what about all of those businesses that you killed off? What about those people in the country that were treated just like they're in downtown Ann Arbor? Yeah. Blanket policy for a giant state, and you fucked the people over like they're a white guy going for a stroll in Detroit. Fucking stop. If you went to the hardware store, you could you could go to the hardware store, but you didn't want people to be congregating around the garden supplies, Whitmer said. Why? Here's when I knew all of this shit was a little bit sus. The moment where all of the entrances, like if a store had a bunch of different entrances, they had one on the south, they had one on the north, they had a couple on the sides, they had multiple doors in order to come in and out of the place. The moment that they started to congregate and it only allowed people to come in and out of one place, that's when my noggin started to get jogging. Oh, you're worried about something that's contagious, so instead of allowing multiple entrances so you could spread everything out, you just want to force everybody through one entrance. That's very, very interesting and kind of anti-science if you ask me, but no. I'm not one of those experts. I've just got eyes and common sense. People said, oh, she outlawed seeds in, it was February in Michigan. No one was planting anyway, she continued. This bitch fucking reiterated it. It was April, you Oh, but that being said, some of those policies, when I look back at it, you think, maybe it was a little more than what we needed to do. You don't fucking say. Oh, I hate her. On April 9th, 2020, Whitmer's office published a list in the state's website that includes items Michigan officials deemed not necessary to sustain or protect life. Gardening. What's the end result of gardening? Food. not essential in the state of Michigan. Are you having a fucking laugh? No, she didn't think that far ahead. Bitch. The order stated that companies had to block areas of the stores through various means or remove non-essential items. Great, yeah, because people could buy them. You better just take them out back and fucking burn all of them, including gardening items, but also many other goods such as carpet or flooring materials, furniture, and paint. All of those they're not necessary at all. But oh, whoopsie daisy! 3 years later, after all of the fervor is calmed down, and I was almost kidnapped because I was just trying to keep you people safe. I hate her so much. The order correctly recognizes food and agriculture as critical infrastructure and accordingly permits grocery stores, restaurants, convenience stores, and other food-related businesses to continue sales subject to reasonable health and safety restrictions, the letter reads. So yeah, she's smart enough to realize that food and agriculture are critical. But like every other stupid fucking tanky, she thinks that food comes from the grocery store and electricity comes from the wall outlet, you fucking moron. At the same time, however, the order appears to prohibit sales of plants, including vegetables, fruit, and herb plants. I don't know what kind of fruit you're growing. Well, I don't know if she has a kid, but what kind of fruit you're growing in the spring in Michigan. But that's not for the government to decide. That's for the individual to decide, you tyrannical bitch. And you think just because you're sitting down with a little fucking droopy dog on CNN, nobody's going to pay attention to this shit? You ruined people's lives. You closed ancient stores. You put Michigan, which was thriving in the Trump economy with new renewed enthusiasm, with the new manufacturing jobs that are out there, you set them back so far. Why? Well, to quote Rollo Tomasi, and something that he tweets out on the regular: elect women and then you get. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.